don't save money. Saving money is for losers. Don't ever save money. I think whatever we can think in this brain is possible. Like, this brain is wired in a way that you cannot think what is not possible. A dog cannot think of starting a business. And same for an elephant. An elephant can't think about flying. I realized I was a negative person. I realized that I just looked at myself consciously in the mirror and realized that I am a loser. And it is a very tough thing to say to yourself. To make money, to be successful, you have to do what is needed and not what you love. When you only have positivity in your life, when you only have successful people in your life, you become a winner, and that's who I am. And I win.
Welcome back to another episode of the Inspiring Talk podcast. I'm super excited to be joined by Shlok Srivastava. Shlok runs one of the largest tech YouTube channels called techburner. He has more than 9.5 million subscribers. In this episode, you will get to see the completely other side of Shlok. I invited Shlok Srivastava to understand the mindset with which he operates. You will get to learn a lot about how he thinks about money, how he thinks about content creation, how he thinks about businesses. And throughout this episode, you will realize how driven Shlok is and how committed is he in making things happen. And for me personally, I loved that hustler, that go and get things done kind of attitude. He is more than a content creator, a businessman. And that's the side that you'll get to explore in this episode. Let's get started. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Inspiring Talk podcast. And I'm super excited to be joined by Shlok Srivastava. Shlok, welcome to the show.
Yeah, 100%. We have met several times before. And every time we met, it was a very positive conversation. And I got a lot of insight from you and the people you have met. So yeah, very excited. Let's go.
तबाही मचाते हैं.
100%.
So Shlok, you said that you are arrogant, or that's something that you said, like, hey, as a person, like, I have a very strong self-image, which is a great thing, but also you said, like, what, I have this very, like a very strong personality, but I have met you, like you said, right? Third time I'm meeting you this time, but that never shows up, that never comes out, right? And which I've always found that you are very humble, and I've met with a lot of people who have the kind of success that you have right now. And, they would have completely different kind of image that they put out, and they would treat people differently and stuff like that. So, like, how do you sort of maintain that to ensure that, hey, you know what, while I have a very strong image, but at the same time, the other person that I'm meeting, I'm not going to put that person, like down or look down upon them.
Yeah, 100%. What I think I would say I'm smart, first of all. And I am arrogant. I don't know how to define it, first of all. What I mean to say is, I have a very big image of myself. I am a big person. I do big things. I do everything that is big. I don't ever crack self-depreciating jokes. I never put myself down. I never put guilt in myself or negativity in myself, and that's how I've been for the past 6 or 7 years. And that does not mean that when I meet a person who let's say has less experience than me, so I understand that I have worked for this. It is not like I have spent 8 years like grinding day in and day out, and then I have become the person I am right now. So I understand when I meet a person that he has not worked that much. He has not put in that effort. He has not done things like how I have done. So I understand he has the same potential, but like he's not there yet. So I respect the person for who he is, but also I understand that at this point of time, I have a leverage. So I don't put them down, but I try to bring them up to the level where I am. And when I see a person who has worked even more than me or who has more experience than me, then I try to take from his self-image and I try to be a student. So just like we say in India, कि like पैर छूने पड़ते हैं ना जाके when you're a student. So I believe in that. Whenever I'm with a person who I can learn from, maybe sometimes if it's even below me, sometimes a person who is let's say when I say below me, less experience or less work done than what I've done. So maybe he's experienced in some other thing that I can learn from. Maybe he has more experience with family or more experience with let's say having friends, for example, which I don't have much. So I try to learn from that. So I think that's why it is not a problem, because like the self-image is very, very big, and people
and did you always have this
no
self-image?
Not always. I think it's a process. As I think yes, I have always had a big self-image.
Did you always think that you were a special child even when you were in your school, that hey, you know what, all of these guys, not in a comparative state, like, but hey, you know what, but I am something special, like I have bigger, better things to build or do?
I would say most of my adult life I have had a big self-image, but it was not there when I was let's say till my 8th standard. I think that was because I was when I was in school I was like maybe to some extent what you would call bullying, or maybe people try to put me down, all the classmates, and even my mother used to scold me, and when I didn't get good marks, and she used to like India mein common hai, it's not like a big deal, but I don't know, it suppressed me to some extent, and then I was not like this. But over a period of time, I don't know why my mother stopped. She stopped saying anything. She just let me be free. And that's when the automatic change happened. I don't know why she did that, but I'm very, very grateful that she understood who I am. And ever since then, I have had a big self-image, because I've always did things where I was pushing myself. So yeah.
To say that you don't have self-doubt would not be correct, right? So when you have something like that, when you doubt yourself, or when you feel that, hey, you know what, am I as good? And do you feel that? And if so, then how do you sort of then recondition, or what do you tell to yourself to get back to this zone of like, hey, you know what, I'm already doing a lot of stuff, and you know, this is who I am meant to be?
What do you mean by self-doubt? Is it like insecurity if I'm above that person, or if I will be able to do that thing or not?
I'll be able to do it or not, more on like doubting your own.
I think that's the most stupid question you can ask. Because like our mind works on questions. I think whatever we can think in this brain is possible. Like this brain is wired in a way that you cannot think what is not possible. Like let's take for example a dog. A dog cannot think of starting a business because his brain is wired in such a way. And same for an elephant. An elephant can't think about flying.
True.
Because he is wired in such a way. If I can have a thought, whatever thought I can have, maybe going to the solar system, putting everything on fire, putting Mars on fire, let's say invading the solar system, or traveling in time, all of this is possible. We haven't just done it yet. Whatever was possible, flying for a human being was not possible physically, but we built planes. So everything that we can think of is possible. So I never think if I can do it or not. I just assume I can do it. I just ask my brain the question how it can be done. That is the only question I ask. I never ask myself if I can do it or not. I just ask myself, how can I do it? And my brain just gives me answers. And that is how it has always been. Whatever the biggest question that I ask my brain, it gives me. If I ask my brain the question, can I do it or can I not? the answer is yes or no, and you would spend a lot of time thinking about it. And what if the answer is yes? What if the answer is no? It doesn't even matter. Like, the process is the fun part. Maybe I might not be able to do it, but in the process of trying to reach that goal, I'll do so many more amazing things. So if I aim towards, let's say, if I ask my brain the question, can I go to the solar system and time travel? The answer might be no. But if I try doing that, if I try day in, day out trying to time travel and go to Mars, I might figure out some other business ventures that might make me $100 billion. So I don't think that's a stupid question to ask. I don't think anybody should ever ask themselves if they can do it or not. They should just assume they can do it and just do it.
No, I think that's a really, good perspective. But a lot of people, and I want to understand from you, where did you get that mentality? Was it the influence of your parents, or maybe some friends, or maybe some people that you idolized? Or because, a lot of us do doubt, and there's like an immense self-doubt that a lot of people play on, right? Hey, you know what, am I any good at all? Like, for instance, as a content creator, to think that, hey, is my content even adding any value to somebody? Or what I'm doing is it even making any impact in someone's life? Or, or like, hey, whatever I have done so far, is it even all worth it or whatever, right? So maybe having that imposter, and this is something that a lot of people feel, and it's not easy, like you said, to say that, hey, you know what, don't ask that question, just assume that you can do it. But like, if you can trace back on your own journey, where do you think you would have possibly picked or maybe developed this? Or you were innately, you always believed that, hey, you know what, anything that I can achieve?
I have curated everything that my life has. So it was not an accident. It was not, I won't say it's God-given. I realized I was a negative person. I realized that I just looked at myself consciously in the mirror and realized that I am a loser. And it is a very tough thing to say to yourself.
True.
Because most people are not winning in life. And they want to look themselves in the mirror and say, like, I am a winner. But I had not done anything to call myself a winner. And I looked myself in the mirror and I realized that I am not where I should be. That is the first thing I did over a period of time.
Being brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah. Being very conscious and being very, very honest with myself. And I realized that because I saw people who are more popular than me, who have done things a lot better than me. And I think that's the first step. I can't pick a moment where it happened, but I think it happened when I just started exploring myself, what I can do, what my possibilities are, what are the things I'm good at. And then I realized I'm not good at a lot of things. So yeah, that was the first step. When you realize where you stand, things become easier. Things become, you have a pathway to go to. So I realized all the people around me were negative. Every person who was like trying to bully me or get something out of me, or there were not a lot of people who were like uplifting to some extent, and including a lot of my relatives and a lot of people who you don't want to break ties with. And I think people get comfortable. They all realize who their friends are, who they should let go. They all know, just like working out, it's easy to work out. It's easy to get a good body. You have to work out and you have to eat the right things. There is no special formula. Just like that, life is very simple. Everybody knows that you should be around the 5 best people you can have, but like nobody does it because it's very comfortable to be around friends and relatives that you have always been with. So I just like started introducing better things in my life, and like it's difficult to subtract, but it's easier to add. So I just kept on adding great things. I added acting, I added I added working out, I added exercise, I added football, I added acting and design and entrepreneurship. I started working for NGOs, and I filled my life with a lot of positive things. And the friends and the parties and all the relatives and all of that just subtracted themselves automatically because I didn't have time for them. And eventually that became my whole life. I just added positivity into my life, and it was a conscious choice, step by step, every day. I chose the positive growth life in everything I did, and I questioned everything. Is it adding to my life or is it subtracting to my life? And I keep it very binary, and that's how I started. And it was a process. It was like a 1 or 2 year process, but maybe because I did all of that, things have worked out. And it still is. Like, I don't have a lot of friends, very few friends, very few people I interact with. I talk very less to people I don't find useful. Like, useful as in like who are positive and growing and uplifting. And it's hard to find people like that. And so when you do all of this, when you only have positivity in your life, when you only have successful people in your life, there is no doubt you become a winner, and that's who I am, and I win.
I think that's a really practical tip out there for people who are listening, because it all begins with understanding yourself and going deeper within yourself and being brutally honest with yourself, saying that, hey, you know what? Like, and a lot of us, unfortunately, we lie to ourselves because facing truth is too hard, you know, and it takes a lot of courage for you to stand in front of mirror and say that, hey, you know what? You are a loser. And not stop there, like, but I can change that. But I can take actions to, you know, build from here and grow from here. Let's get back to very early on in your life. And, you know, so what are some of the traits that you think you mentioned about your mother, you know, allowing you to be yourself after a certain point of time? But if there were a few things that you would say, hey, you know what, I think those are few traits that I use today, whether in my content creation or whether in my business, that probably I could have learned from my mother or maybe from your father, maybe a few traits, couple of traits from each of them.
My mother always, this one thing I learned from my mother is how to make the hard choices. Like, sometimes the right thing to do is the hard way, and but like always thinking long term. That's what I learned from my mother, and she's very caring, but at the same time she has a very strong personality. What I learned from my father was keeping people together, which I didn't learn good enough because a lot of friends have been left out, but
I think that's the cost of success that you have to pay.
I chose it. I chose that. And I think, like, the ethics and morals of my parents are very strong. They rarely ever lie. They have a very trustworthy relationship. They are very honest. They're very strong on their ethics. That's what I have learned. But I think that was necessary, and they let me be who I was. So they didn't bind me to some extent. Maybe they tried, but they understood who I was. So understood that for me to grow, I have to be free, and to maybe, like, they put the foundation in me and then just let me go. And they never stopped me from, like, they never stopped me from anything. Like, काफी सारे parents are like, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that, stay in home and all of that. They never did say anything like this. They just set an example by action. My father never smoked, never drank. My mother never did anything. So I think the ethics and morals were very strong. I'm not saying I don't smoke or drink, but like, it's not a part of my lifestyle. That's what I would say. And a lot of positive things from my parents, but there were things that I had to remove also that were being taught to me around money, around entrepreneurship, around the salaries part, around how should I think about my career. All of that I had to erase also. So it was not like everything was nice and perfect, but
of
like
course. Yeah. So let's talk about unconditioning that you had to do around money. Like, what were the things that were taught to you, not necessarily only by your parents, but also people around you, or maybe friend circle and stuff like that? What was like that the biggest unconditioning that you think you had to do around the topic of money? Because a lot of people don't get uncomfortable, even just to have conversation around money, right? And that's how they're like, hey, you know what? And also a lot of parents do pass on their belief to the kids, and that's something that I recall that my parents try and do, right? I remember when I was very young, and so we didn't have a lot of money, and when I told my mom that, hey mom, you know what, when I grow up I don't want to work for anyone, I want to start my own business, and that was, my mother laughed at me. She laughed at me and said, do you even know, like, for you to start a business you need a lot of money? And because that's something that her thought process was, but for somehow, I don't know, like, I believed whatever, saying that, hey, you know what, but I know that I'm going to make it happen. That's your belief. And similarly, like, there were so many other beliefs that my father very strongly believed in, but which I saw completely differently, things. So are there particular, unconditioning that you had to do around the topic of money?
I had a saying that my parents used to say, ki, like, don't worry about, just keep on studying, don't worry about the money, and don't think about money too much. Like, पढ़ाई करो, पैसे के बारे में मत सोचो, ऐसा type. And a lot of things were like, just keep on working hard, don't worry about the money thing. And there was a tangent that was there in my family. Nobody used to talk about money. My parents never talked about money in front of me. Nobody used to, like, it was like a hidden thing that you have to only discuss in some areas or something. That was not a good way to go about money. Like, you should, the only way to learn about something is to talk about it, is to learn about it, is to see it, is to experience it. So like, that is the same for money. Just like you can't make a good body without working out, you have to exercise cash flow, you have to understand how money works, you have to do business to understand how to make money. Majority of our population, I don't think they even know how money works. They just put it in their bank account and they don't even know how the bank is using their money and what is happening to that money. Nobody knows how mutual funds work. Nobody knows, like, I think majority of the population, they know money by salary. They know ki, like, we just work and somehow the company pays us salary. That's all they know. And that is a very comfortable life for most people. I am not that person. I spent my time understanding money, and it was a very hard thing for me to do. It sounds simple for a lot of people, but I tried making money. I tried doing things to get money. I tried to understand how to make money. I tried to talk to people who make money. And in India, it's like a tangent where if you're making money, you are evil somehow. I don't know why.
Rich people are evil, and that's one of the big sort of belief a lot of people do hold dearly.
And I don't know how, like, if you put someone as evil, you will never learn anything from it. So I don't buy into that philosophy. I believe everybody is right and wrong. And the people who are poor are also right and wrong. The people who are rich also have negatives and positives. So I try to take in the positives from everybody. That's what I try to do. I understood, and I'm still not maybe like very well known about money and a lot of things, but I understand the basics. I understand the basics of how money works, how the bank uses my money, how am I getting interest loans, how savings work, how investments work, how the basics of money work. That's what I know, and just knowing that will make you rich. That's what I understand. Whatever you're doing, if you're dancing, you would understand you only get money when people pay you to watch. If you're dancing in a room, nobody would, you won't make money. if you have to make money, you have to organize a concert or something where you dance and people pay you money for that. You have to essentially provide value and charge people for it. You just have to give value and charge people for it. That's the basic mechanics of money. And most people don't understand that. And they don't know. They just feel like if they do what they love, don't do what you love. Do what you hate. Don't do what you hate. But like, to make money, to be successful, you have to do what is needed and not what you love. I did not do what I love. For the majority part of my life, I had to do what is needed. And that is the only way you make money. Because what is needed in society is the only thing people will pay for. And when people pay for it, that is the only way you make money. So, yeah, so it was like tutorials and all of that. It's just the best way to do anything is just practice it. Just like try doing business, like try to take a toffee and try selling it. Try just like making a painting and selling it. Just try doing anything, like whatever you know, singing, dancing, and try to make money off it. You'll realize how hard it is and how it works. So the best way is to practice making money, and you will realize how to make money.
Continuing on that, if you were to say like, hey, you know what, for anybody who want to make money, there are 3 skills that you need to pick up. Not necessarily like technical skills and stuff like that, but money making skills, or maybe something that can help them sell, like you said, right? So 3 skills that can really help people, make a lot of money. Or maybe you can say like, when I learned these 3 things, that really helped me make a lot of money.
First thing is understanding what is money. That is the first thing I think people have to understand. Money is not some magical paper that can just come into your bank account. It is exchange of value. You give value, you get value. And that is what money is. So people have to understand what money is. Like when you're giving something and you're getting back in return, it was like in barter system. That's the basic definition of what I have understood. And maybe there's like better definitions, but like I know the basics, so I can tell you that. The second thing I understand about like how to make money is understand people. Only when you understand your customer and the audience and the people you are involved with, because people are the only thing that makes money. Like a robot can't make money. As simple as that. So when you understand how people work, how their brains work, what they want, what they don't want, what they're attracted to, in India, if you want to make money and you go into the education sector, that's the best way to make money. Or you go into a sector like, let's say, the finance sector, like you understand what is like in India. If you want to make money, you have to go into an area that has money. Like if you are making clothes, if you make marriage clothes, you will make more money. If you're studying, if you're making a course, if you make an IIT JEE course, you'll make more money, because that's how people are wired. So understanding people is that's the best way you will be able to position yourself to make more money. Because if you sell like any other clothes, you won't make a lot of money. मतलब अगर आप normal लहंगे बेचोगे, आप 5,000 का लहंगा बेचोगे, शादी के लहंगे बेचोगे 1 लाख का लहंगा बेचोगे. Just like basics. And the third thing is sales. Like how to sell, and sales is like, that is something I am also not amazing at, but I understand कि लोगों को बेचने का एक तरीका होता है. You have to give them what they want, and like essentially basic, मतलब वही sales यार, बेचना कैसे बेचा जाता है, marketing कैसे करी जाती है, social media and how to present your product, how to make a website and all of that. Like there's different ways to sell different products. Sometimes you have to knock on the door. Sometimes you can make a website and sell on social media. So 3 things. That's what I would break it down to.
That's a great. Each of them are like really powerful points, and I'm sure people are like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So I want to talk more about so you, congratulations by the way on successful launch of layers.
Thank you.
I have ordered mine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's already shipped out. So when you think of an idea, I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to you might have an idea for any of the business that they want to do. What is your process of validating that idea to say that, hey, you know what, probably this is what my audience needs?
So whenever the idea is, what I think about it is, like, if I'm doing something, it always, like, I've done things that have been a different way. The best things that have worked for us are when the idea started from the audience. When the audience, we realized that the audience wants this, and we figured out how to create it and how to sell it. That's how that's how I think the best ideas have worked for us. So skins were not something that we were going to make. People started asking for, why don't you make something for our phone? Why don't you do something cool? Why don't you design something like that? And these were the questions that we got from the audience, and we understood what is the current need, like where are gaps in the market, because people are making cases, but the cases are very bland. The cases of market is also not very nice, to be honest. Like, it's not compiled. One brand doesn't own the cases wala market. But you understand, there is no good skins brand who's making like very good quality skins. And we understood, if we make that product, we would be the best in the world if we put in the effort. And it's easier to be the best in the world in that category because there's not a lot of competition. So we realized that, and we realized what our leverage is. Leverage is marketing. So the best ideas, I think, for us have come from the audience. We understood the audience so well and what they wanted, and then we started creating the product. And I think it's the other way around for most. A lot of not successful businesses, they first create the product and they figure out, yaar ye kisko chahiye hoga, or like which sector of the audience wants it, and try to figure out a marketing strategy and target audience and all that. I think it's better if you start from the audience and go backwards.
But you've been creating on YouTube, and you were making decent amount of money from YouTube, comfortable, brands and stuff like that. Then what was the need for you to now thinking of getting into entrepreneurship and say that, hey, you know what, I want to create products and stuff like that? So where does that desire to create products comes from?
I wanted to create products before YouTube. I just didn't have like to create a great product, because I wanted to create great products. I did create products in the starting of my career, but they were not good products. They were essentially sourced from somewhere, and we just put a label, and they were not good products. We wanted to create great products, but we realized to create a great product, you need a lot of setup. To create a product that is the best in the world, you need a good setup. I look at it one way. What I want is I want to make people creative, and I want them to explore, and I want them to expand and grow. And that is the whole goal of this company. And we want to do that through content, or digital products, or physical products. So I wanted people to be able to hold a product, and it inspires them daily. And it, like, when you see it, you feel creative, you feel that colorful, nice energy. So when we decided this layers.shop, we decided we wanted to inspire people and give people what they want. So I want to do everything that I can to fuel this vision. So this is the only thing that is very rigid. Everything else is malleable. So if we feel like it can be done better with another product, or a different channel, or let's say a school or something like that, we would do it. We would not shy away from it. But that's the whole goal. We want to make people creative and help them explore and grow and do amazing things in life.
So when it comes to, growth, how do you see, like, what's your overall perspective on, like, always looking for the next level, right? Like I said, right, you could have stopped there. You could have said, like, oh, what, I'm a comfortable thing, I do have team and stuff like that. I'm doing, but then you are constantly seeking for the next, what's next for me? What's the next level for me? Um, so what really goes on a head when you are doing? Do you get bored when you're doing one thing for too long, or and you constantly look for something new to do? Because as a creative person, then you are constantly looking for new things to get inspired and
So I asked, someone asked me a question in my team. I've been creating content for the past 10 years, and you're asking the same question. It's like, how have you been able to create content for so long? Don't you get bored?
Yeah.
I asked him, when do you, because he also was making videos. So I asked him, when do you make videos? So he said, I make videos when I want to make videos or when I feel like making videos. And I asked him, what happens when you don't feel like making videos? He said, I don't make videos. I told him I make videos even when I don't feel like it. So 70 or 80% of the time, I don't feel like doing what I'm doing, but I do it because it's needed and it has to be done. Because I'm doing it for the audience and there's a vision that is fueling everything. I don't feel like working out when I wake up. I just do push-ups. Whatever I do, it's not like I'm in love every day when I'm doing everything. I just do it. I think it's a necessity. It fuels the people who I'm creating content for. It fuels the life of people who are in this company. And it does not matter how I am feeling. I just do what's necessary. And as long as it aligns with the vision and it creates a big impact, I would keep doing it. And maybe it's videos right now. Maybe if there is something that creates a bigger impact, then I would be doing that also. So yeah, I don't rely on happiness to do what I need to do. I get fulfilled when I meet people who have watched our videos and they feel nice. But yeah, so I don't worry about too much about being happy or sad or in a certain emotion. I just do it.
So a lot of people who are listening this, and also this is a bit of a personal question as well, from that, hey, you know what, how do you ensure that you are disciplined with what needs to be done? Like you said, you make videos because that needs to be done, right? So what needs to be done is one aspect. So are there any processes, or maybe what is it that you really do which makes you disciplined in this? Like, let's say one thing, if I say like making videos and ensuring that that video goes every single week without fail.
I am not disciplined.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Discipline is not something that I would want to connect with. I am very lazy. I am very like, I am not very regular. I am late majority of the times. Anyone who watches our videos or follows our channel, they would know that I used to upload like at 12 at night, or for like the majority. And people, for like 6 months I uploaded videos after 12 o'clock at night, and everybody was trying to figure out what is this algorithm thing he's trying to do by uploading after I just figure out I make a video at 9 and it uploaded at 12. But I'm not a disciplined person. I'm a very obsessive person. So when I realize I have to do this, I just go after it. That's how my life has been. I can't be very disciplined, or I can't set like आधे घंटे में ये करूँगा and after half an hour or 5 minutes or this I'll do that or do this. But like I just realize I have to go in this direction. It is important, and I get obsessed by it, and step by step I just keep doing it. And I try to set like routines. Maybe in the morning I wake up, I just have things set up. Like, let's say if I want to work out, I try to make the workout easier. I try to set up my shoes so I can like go in the morning and work out. And for doing the things that I have to do, I spend the most amount of money. So I have the best running shoes in the like whatever the best running shoe is, I would buy that for my workout. Whatever the best protein shake is, I would buy that. I would want to go to the best gym. I would want to get the best trainer. So currently I'm going to train with Hrithik Roshan's trainer. Not a lot of people know this, but Chris Gethin, he's an amazing person. So whenever I'm doing something that I should be doing, I want it to be in the best surrounding. And that's why we have this studio and all the amazing people working on
And
us.
it shows, yeah.
Because it motivates you, it pulls you. When you have the best things in a positive direction, I think that pulls you. So yeah, I don't shy away from spending money in directions that are like towards growth or positivity or will help me improve my life. So that's how I do it, and it's a fun way to do it as well. If you have the best running shoes, you would want to run. So yeah.
Yeah. So, before we started recording, you mentioned that one of the best or maybe the best investments that you have made is in your own personal growth. So if you were to recall some of the best personal growth or investment that you made in yourself, what would be few of those investments? And we'll try and decode like why you think investing in the, in your own self, can have much higher returns. First, like I want to know what are those things that, which you think like, well, you know what, that was the best investment that I made in myself.
First thing I would say, it in my personal experience, don't save money. Saving money is for losers. Don't ever save money, because money that you save is waste. That is like its value being wasted in a bank. Nobody, like if you give your money to the bank uses it to do something else. And I think like for the majority people, like I'm not saying it for someone who has $1 billion, because there is no way he can like spend it all. But for majority of people, I think if you're just surviving on the money, you should not be saving money. If you should be, you should invest all that money in yourself, your body and your mind. And initially it is the best investment that you can do. And I still do. I still invest a lot in my health, in my mind.
What do you do when you say invest in my mind?
So, the best investment I've ever made was in people and myself. So, like when I say mind, it's like I try to learn things. I buy courses. I try to fix meetings with people that are very nice, and I have to go there and like buy flights and all of that. And also, let's say, to some extent, I would buy meditation courses or learn how to understand consciousness and all of that. And it's just like a way of trying to push myself, and I spend money on that. And also my body, I try to work out and do things. And I think like I can give you an example. Like this, the best money I've spent are on things that like logically people won't understand. Like I can give you an example. Let's say there is a basketball that costs 10 lakh rupees. And the feature of that basketball is it will improve your basketball game by 1%. For me, it is a liability. It is the most bullshit investment I will make. Because it is waste of money. Because I don't play basketball. But the same thing for, let's say, LeBron James would be the best investment of his life. Because 1% in his game would give him outputs of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you just have to understand what investments you can make to get money out of them. And you have to think in terms of money, because money is value. So for me, I bought a camera when I couldn't afford one. I bought a DSLR when I had zero money. I had to like get a loan from and all of that. And like gadgets, like let's say an iPhone, it helps us create better content. So anything that can push you, let's say buying a course, or maybe even a meeting with a person who is successful. You have to go to Bombay and come back. Or let's say even if you're playing football, you have to buy the best football boots that you can. If you're making videos, just buy whatever camera you can, whatever equipment you can. Just try to push yourself when it comes to when it is a thing that you want to grow towards. So I genuinely believe in saving money, and not saving money, and spending and investing it in yourself. And when I said don't save money, what I'm
doesn't mean go out and start shopping all the stuff and stuff like that.
And it's just like, even everything you do can be an investment. If you're going out to eat, if you buy a burger, it will make you unhealthy, and then you will work less, and then you will make less money. It's not a good investment. But if you buy a salad, it will improve your health. It will maybe improve your thinking by 0.1%, but it is an investment, and it will eventually make you money, and it will improve your lifestyle. So everything that you can do can be either an investment or a liability. And every time I'm spending money, I try to understand if this thing that I'm doing right now, if the money I'm spending right now, will this make me money, or will I lose money when I do this? So when I do that, I also understand money better, and I also understand, because when you're only making investments, making an investment on your health is also a big investment. People don't realize it. Buying a salad is an investment. When you only make investments, you eventually become rich, and that's how I have made money. And it was a conscious choice. It was not an accident. And people can say real estate and all of that. I do buy real estate. I do invest in stocks. No mutual funds, or simple one rule for me. I invest in what I know. And most people don't understand mutual funds. Most people don't understand index funds. If you don't understand something, don't put your money into it, because
or take time to educate yourself.
If you don't understand stock market, don't put even 1 rupee into it. Because I think that's a very loser thing to do. Just putting money somewhere where you don't know what's happening. Yeah, I don't do that. I only invest in things that I know very well. And if I don't know, I understand it.
Great stuff. So much value in that. So do you think a lot of people don't know how much money that they want? Everybody wants money, but defining that, how much money do I need?
Yeah. So I recently took an interview, and I asked this question a lot of times. I try to ask people how much money, I ask people what they want to do, why they want to do it. And a lot of people say, I want to do it for the money. And it's not a bad thing to say for me. Okay, you want to do it for money. Essentially, you want more value in your bank. But how much money? And most people can't answer that question. And it's so, you are basing your life on this thing. You are saying everything what you do in your life is for money. But you don't know how much money you need. I ask them, how are you going to make that money? Or I ask them, try to help me with an answer. 10 crores, 20 crores, 30 crores, 50 crores, 100 crores, 1000 crores, whatever the number is. Ask yourself how much. And they give very weird answers. They give I want 50,000 a month, or some people say I want 1,000 crores. They give very weird answers. And what I understand after speaking to them is, they have not taken any financial decision in their life. They have not spent any time understanding money or how money works. And they have not exercised enough. They have not spent enough time doing sales or understanding people or doing anything that has to do with money. But they just want money. It's just having a dream and not knowing how to get there. It's just I want to become the president, but they don't even know how to be the president. So like, if you don't know how to do it, I that's a very weird way to go. So I asked them the question like, how much money do you want? And usually the answer is like 1,000 crores. I tell them that if you want to make 1,000 crores before 30, like these are the list of people who are doing it, who have done it, and out of the 24 hours that they have in a day, they are working 18 hours a day for 8 years.
Wow.
And they have built teams, and they have sacrificed everything for it. The people who have done it before 30, are you close? And these are the people who are working 3 hours a day. There is no possible way. Your actions don't match your dreams. And I think that's a very good way to look at it. If you are aiming that high, you have to position yourself. You have to do things that are very extraordinary. So when people say 1,000 crores or 500 crores, it's like just an inflated number. And I ask them, what are you going to do with the money? They tell me I want a car or bike or something like that. And when I ask them what car, what bike, whatever it is, and they just, that lifestyle is usually like 2 lakhs a month. And I say, like, for making 2 lakhs a month, you can just have let's say 3 or 4 crores in the bank and just live off interest. And you don't need 1,000 crores for that. So like, people, you have to understand
what lifestyle that you want to live, and do the back calculation of it.
Yeah, it's easy. Like, if you understand how like how to make money, how money works, it becomes easier. But like, yeah, it's you have to put in a lot of effort here. It's simple, but not like just like having 6-pack abs. It's simple. Like, you have to eat healthy and you have to work out. Just like that, like, making money is also simple, but it takes time and it takes a lot of effort.
If you were to say, hey, you know what, 3 life lessons that I have learned by creating YouTube videos, being in front of that camera, what are the lessons that you've learned for your life that you can implement in your life? Or maybe that we all can learn from?
One thing that I've learned is there is no better fulfillment than creating, like, there is no better fulfillment than when you give value, or like when you give something to a large part of the audience. And that's what I have understood. Like, when I do things and I meet people who have, like, I meet people who have skins on their phone, and they just come up to me with their shining faces and they tell me how I have impacted their life, and what are the things that they're doing and all of that. And mostly it's like creative people who are taking photos or making films or all of that and designing stuff. I think it's the best feeling in the world. I haven't had a feeling better than that. That is one feeling that I only think content creators can have, because they feel like when people come to me, whenever I see them,
they already know you.
They feel like a friend.
Yeah.
Or bhai ka haal chal and stuff like that. I don't think they would go to Shah Rukh Khan and be like, oh, or bhai ka haal chal. It's like, but like when they come to me, it's like they have a very personal connect. And the impact that we are trying to create with each video, I can see that manifesting, and that is the most beautiful thing I have learned. The other thing is I have learned is the audience is everything. So whatever we do, we try to keep the audience above us, and because that's the people we are doing it for, whether we create a product or whether we create content. And the third thing I've learned is criticism. Is when you make content on YouTube, you get hate.
By the way, I've seen comments saying that the YouTuber with 0 haters, people comparatively think that you have much less haters as opposed to other creators. But yeah,
I don't know. The comment section right now is like, what is that comment that people make? Hey, this guy excludes such positive energy or something like that. It's just copy pasted comment. I don't know. Like it's a mess right now. But I 100% think we have a lot of haters. And when we started, I think like everybody on YouTube gets hate. We just happen to be in a space where we try to make positive content, but like this, like handling hate and handling criticism is when it comes, when it's like so many people are coming towards and hating you, it's like a tough thing to handle, and it messes with you mentally to some extent. So I have understood how, like I've tried to understand how it works, and I've tried to define 3 categories for people. So there's people who are like very positive and they just like everything is good, you're doing amazing work and all of that. I'm very happy, thank you so much. And for the second people, they want to criticize, and sometimes they might even curse when they're criticizing. They might even like माँ बहन की गाली भी दे देंगे वो types. But they are saying माँ बहन की गाली to some extent. It could be because I have done something wrong. Maybe because I've clickbaited them.
Yeah.
Maybe because they have bought a product that was not good for them. And I try to understand that. And there's a lot of just because a person is cursing you does not mean there is not anything that you can take from it. So I try to understand that. And the third type of people, I think these are the people who are just blatantly there to hate.
Everybody on internet.
And I don't know. Like maybe I feel like कि यार हो सकता है मम्मी ने पिटाई कर दी और they don't have any other outlet and they just want to put that on the comment section towards me. I'm happy to take that if that makes them feel better. And because there's nothing that I can take away from it. So I try to look at it very logically. These are 3 types of people I find commenting. And of course, there's fourth one is bots. Bots. Can't take anything away from bots. Bots are very nice also. No hate to bots, please.
But I mean, my experience with online hate has been very interesting because first, I'm sure like early on when you used to get hate, all of a sudden you will take it all personal and feel that, hey, you know what? Where did I go wrong? And, you will start trying to go to the person's profile and see, what this guy is up to and why is so much hate coming your way? Did I do something wrong and stuff like that? And, to some extent, you start outing yourself as well, right? Hey, you know what? Like, what's going on here? And then over the period of time, I realized that, hey, you know what? If somebody is just passing comment to you on internet, and especially when they saw you for the first time, and a lot of hate I see also comes first time they see you and when they don't know your story, like somebody who follow you for a while, who've been following you for a while, who know your journey, they know how much you've worked and they know, there's so much that value that you provide to them. And even if sometime when you falter, they're like, audience is very, forgiving in that sense is what I feel. Like, they're very forgiving when, something goes wrong. They're like, hey, you know what? He's also a human. Let it be. Like, we can be kind to him, right? That's what like your loyal followers do. And people who are loyal to you do. But there are the kind of people who, like you said, right, who just are there either to hate or they feel like, hey, you know what, I could have been this person. And I'm not doing anything. This person is doing so much. Can I bring him down? And like, for instance, I'll give you an example. One comment that came out like, hey, you know what, I can do way better podcast than you host. I'm saying, of course, I have no doubt that you can do. But the only difference is you are just typing on keyboard and I'm just picking this freaking microphone and talking to people. I'm not saying, I'm not being arrogant or anything, but I'm just saying that the only difference is you, and I completely honestly trust that you are way better than, because I have my own journey and you are way better than I am. I completely believe that. But the only thing is you are not picking the microphone. Take that first step, So, and I started with extreme comparison. And when people like really put harsh comment, one, I will either laugh with them or put something very nice, say really nice to them. And then I've seen like by the time they go on the third comment, they was like, sorry, bhai, that was not the impression that I had about you. I'm really sorry. That's not what I meant. Right. So, but again, like at the number of, volume that you get, maybe that's not possible. But I said that a lot of people, we all want that kindness and a bit of a compassion. And when that can change is what, how I feel and, what's been my experience.
So, like I was in my college, I was living with a stand-up comedian. And like, I like jokes. And the thing I don't respond to hate is why, because like I think maybe they just want attention because that's why they're hating. If you want, like, at least be creative. It's the same boring gali that you give. माँ बहन वाली almost everybody. Like, कुछ छिपकली इंट्रोड्यूस करो, कुछ ऐसा अलग सा ऐड करो, थोड़ा सा attention मिलो तो like it. So it's not even funny. So that's why like ठीक है. Like it's आदत हो गया थोड़ा time. But like I think if you want to hate also, yeah, and if you can be a little bit more creative, I think that would be a nice way to go. Like some feedback for haters.
Yeah. No, also like for instance, one is like I can buy you a skin and then say that, hey, Shlok, the skin that you've created is like crap. Then. But
I would want to take feedback.
Yeah,
from it.
right. So that is one. The other kind of hater that we're talking about is like, I just saw videos and then I have made my opinion without even bothering to check what you have to offer. And I'll go all over the internet and say that, and then, say all kind of things about the product or the service that you create. And that happens, with a lot of people, that you haven't experienced what I have to offer and you made your own judgment and you are putting it out there. So, that's where I felt like, when I said that, hey, you know what? By the way, there's 15,000 other people who have bought skins from us are saying that they loved it. I think you should try one as well. so.
Yeah, 100%. I like criticism. I think it drives us forward. Whenever there's like something we can improve on, I try to take it and work on it. And and because we have been constantly working on it, we get less and less of it. And I think that's been that. But I always try to ask people for feedback and criticism whenever I meet people in person who have been watching videos. So yeah, but we need a lot of it. I would want people to criticize and put out the like whatever bad is happening on the channel. Like if you don't like editing style or anything, I would want people to say that, and it's always helpful.
It helps, yeah. It does. So does this whole thing takes a lot of mental pressure? Like, do you feel a lot of pressure for everything that's going on, right? Like almost you are soon getting to 10 million. That's like 1 crore people, consuming your content. And then obviously you do have teams. Now you're building companies and building products, and it comes with its own sort of challenges and stuff like that. How do you sort of stay sane?
I would ask that question back to you. Like one question I would ask. What do you think is more stressful? Being jobless and not having a job, or working so hard on something that you believe in that you don't have any time?
Of course you would want to do something that you absolutely love and build what you're building.
Asking like which one do you think is more stressful?
Not having a job is of course stressful, right?
I would agree.
Yeah.
Like I chose this. I chose everything I'm doing. Like I choose every day to do whatever I can, because like I have been where I don't have anything to do. So I know how stressful it is. Like not having a job is way more stressful than working day and night on something that you believe in. So yes, there is a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure, but I chose this. I chose this pressure. I chose the pain that comes with it, but like I love it, and I do it every day, and I am obsessed, and I think it is way better than doing just sitting at home and watching movies, or just not doing anything, or just doing, let's say, a normal job. So yeah, I don't regret even 1%. I want to do this. I choose this every day.
Why does it sound like, your affirmation session is happening right here on the podcast?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Do you do the affirmations?
That's who I am, and it's the same thing. I am a person who believes in what I do, and I just want people to feel that intensity. I want people to know that there is no negative in doing what is necessary, and of course there's a lot of pain and a lot of stress and all of that, but like I want to be in this position. I want to have all of this. I want to have all the money. Of course there's negatives that come with it, but like it's way better than the other side. It's way better than not doing anything. It's way better than being poor. So I want people to understand that this side is nice, and that's why I want to affirm that. I want to make it very strong. I want to put it very strongly. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with the whole wave of the creator economy coming into this, and you said, I want people to be in this side. For somebody who's just starting out, maybe quick few things that you would say, like pay attention to these 3 things, and maybe in the longer run, you will have success.
The best thing you can do is like, there's a lot of free things that you can do that does not take any money. You can understand the audience. You can understand content. You can get a job as let's say, a social media analyst or a research worker, or a lot of jobs that pay really, really well. You can learn metaverse or blockchain development. You can learn Shopify development. All of these categories where like just try to understand the market. Where are gaps, where people are not able to find good employees if you want to get a job, and just understand the market, because like everybody is coding. So like it's nice to learn to code, and you would get a nice job if you learn to code. But if you're a blockchain developer and people are out here are trying to hire blockchain developers and they're not able to find, you would have to work very less to get a job as a blockchain developer. Because like for us, finding people in the social media space who understand content, it's very hard. So if someone knows content in and out, you are very likely to get a job, or you are very likely to start a business. Just understand the chessboard, just understand the situations, and just try to do what there is need for. If you try to do what everybody else is doing, it's like you might get a job, might not get a job, but like try to do what not everybody else is doing, where the need is there. Not like just try to, maybe like I'm not giving a good example, but like if you just out of random try to do, let's say, hip hop pop locking dance for yourself just because no one else is doing it, won't work. But maybe it can if you can turn it into a business. But like if you try to understand what the need of the society is, which nobody is fulfilling, and you do that, it will make you money and everything. So this is free. Anyone can do that. Anyone can go on the internet, like 100 rupees ka data pack lena padega, but like you can do it for free. Most of the things you can do on your mobile. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. On that note, I've got quick few questions, which is like you can answer really quickly.
100%.
Okay. So what inspires you to do everything that you do?
A lot of people have asked me this question. It is a tough question to answer. Maybe I just want to see what is the best that can be done, and what are the limits of this body and mind. What is the best thing that I can create, and just pushing that limit is something that just like exploration, creation, exploration, and what fulfills this journey is the feedback or the people that get connected and give it back. So I think it's at the end of the day, it's just I want to expand the horizon. I want to explore what is the biggest value that I can create for this world, and just to create the biggest impact. Like at the end, I want to turn the whole world positive, not positive and creative. Not a short answer, but sorry.
No worries. If you were to do this all over again, what are the 3 things that you would have done differently? Or maybe started early?
I would have spent more money hiring people a lot faster and learning from them. That's the first thing I would have done. And if I were to go back and tell Shlok, I would just say, you're right. Just keep going. That's the only thing I would say.
Got it. All right. So we have come towards the end of this. And I have one last question that I want to ask. But before that, I want to acknowledge for everything that you are doing and inspiring so many people, not only with the content, but also with your own story and everything that you're putting out there, and showing everyone what can be possible, if you have the mentality of saying that, hey, you know what, I can go and do whatever I can think of, I can actually go and,
I think this is like we're nobody yet. And this is just the
beginning
of what we are doing.
Yeah.
And right now people might not be able to understand it, but like the things that we are going to do will be way bigger than what people can think of us right now. So that's that.
And that right there, the hunger to do more and be more, and like you said, pushing your limit, like really makes who you are, and that's really powerful. So last question. Imagine you are standing on a stage, and this is the largest stadium that has ever been built in the history of the world. And there are millions and millions of people on that stadium. And you have been invited on the stage, and you've been given only 1 minute of time to share the most important lesson that you have learned in your life. What would be your message?
The message would be truth. Absolute truth. I think it is very binary. This either it can be true or it cannot be true. Truth has power. I improved my life when I looked truly at myself, when there was truth in my words, when there was truth in what I did, when everything that you're doing is true to who you are, and like everything is true, there is a certain alignment. I don't know what I can call it, but it is very powerful, and it is the most powerful thing that I've experienced. So I never lie. If I want to say something that I don't want to, I just say I don't want to say it. And there is no, what I think and what I say and what I do, it all is very aligned, because when I say I want to do, let's say make 1,000 crores or this or that or whatever, my body and my mind and every part of who I am is true to that goal. So like truth is the most powerful thing that I've experienced. And I think when people experience, it is the most simple thing, but it is the most powerful thing. Most people can't be true all the time. They have people who are not true. They have surroundings that are not true. They do things that are not true to them. They say things that are not true to them. They think something, they even in their thoughts, they're not true to who they are. So I think when you chase that in every part of who you are, you become very different, and there is a lot of intensity in what you do. So that's the most powerful thing I've learned.
This has been such a great conversation, Shlok. Thank you so much for taking this time out today.
Yeah, thank you. It was amazing talking to you. Although मैं हिंदी में थोड़ा सा मैं better रहता हूँ, but like English भी आज थोड़ी सी रिवाइज हो गई.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Superstar.
nice.
Yeah.